right, the time is 7:40. I'll call this regular scheduled meeting of the mayor and council to order. Today is August 12th, 2013. Tonight we first have our invocation. We have Bishop Kent Clay with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Snellville to lead us in tonight's invocation. Bishop Clay.
Our Father in heaven, we bow our heads before Thee at the beginning of this meeting, grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy in this country, grateful for this wonderful city in which we live, grateful for those who dedicate themselves to protecting our freedoms and our lives. We pray at this time that Thou will watch over, guide the mayor, city council, and those that work with them, that they might help lead this great city forward to the future in prosperity. Will Thou please watch over those that protect us and the police, fire department, and others who dedicate their lives to serving others. May Thou please watch over those in our great city who may be struggling in these difficult times. May they be able to feel Thy love for them and be lifted from it. We ask of these things of Thee, in the name of Thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop Clay. Now for tonight's announcements. The August 13th Board of Appeals meeting has been canceled. On August 25th, you can watch a rebroadcast of this council meeting on Comcast Channel 25 at 6:30 p.m. We'll have our regular scheduled council meeting on August 26th at 6:30 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting here at City Hall. And the August 27th Planning Commission meeting has been canceled. Now tonight we have a special presentation of the colors. We have the Snellville Police Department Honor Guard to present the colors, and retired police officer, Officer McClure, to lead us in the pledge of the flag. Now for our ceremonial matters, we have a proclamation for National Payroll Week before we get to our birthday celebration. It's Proclamation 2013-16, National Payroll Week. Whereas the American Payroll Association and its 23,000 members have launched a nationwide public awareness campaign that pays tribute to more than 156 million people who work in the United States and the payroll professionals who support the American system by paying wages, reporting worker earnings, and withholding federal employment taxes. Whereas payroll professionals in Snellville play a key role in maintaining the economic health of Snellville, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting, and depositing. Whereas payroll departments collectively spend more than $15 billion annually complying with a myriad of federal and state wage and tax laws. Whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role ensuring the economic security of American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and making sure they comply with their child support mandates. Whereas payroll professionals have become increasingly proactive in educating both the business community and the public at large about the payroll tax withholding systems. Whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state tax officials to discuss both improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at less cost to both government and businesses. Whereas the week in which Labor Day falls has been proclaimed National Payroll Week. I, Kelly D. Couts, Mayor of the City of Snellville, Georgia, and the City Council hereby give additional support to the efforts of people who work in Snellville, Georgia, and of the payroll professionals by proclaiming the first full week of September as National Payroll Week in the City of Snellville. Proclaimed this 12th day of August, 2013. Do I have the members of the Payroll Association here? This is something we do each year. They provide a great service to our community, so thank each of you for being here tonight. Now we have Proclamation 2013-16. Before I read the proclamation, we have several invited guests with us here tonight. I know we have Jack Dillard, a former city clerk. Mr. Dillard? Mr. Dillard? No? We have Joe Anderson. Mr. Dillard, thank you for being with us tonight. We have former council members, Joe Anderson. If you can stand when I call your name. We have several former council members. Joe Anderson. Former councilwoman, Deborah Rich. Former councilman, Nelson Williams. Former councilman, Mike Staley. Former Councilman Bruce Garraway. Former Councilman Warren Ald. Former Councilwoman Barbara Bender. The longest-serving councilman, former Councilman Wayne Odom. Former Mayor Emmett Clower. Former Councilman and former Representative Melvin Everson. Former Councilman Chad Smith. Former Councilman Kurt Schultz. former Councilwoman Judy Waters. Former City Manager Jim Brooks. Is there anyone else that snuck in on me whose name I did not call? Thank you all for being here tonight. We also, before I get started with ours, Congressman Hank Johnson, our United States representative, did a proclamation for us commemorating our 90th anniversary. He was unable to be here tonight, but he has put that in front of the House of Representatives, and I want to read that into the record for us. It says, "Proclamation. Whereas Snellville's history can be traced to the friendship and partnership of James Sawyer and Thomas Snell, who settled in the Georgia farming community known as New London in the 1870s. And whereas the community of New London was incorporated by the Georgia legislature as the city of Snellville on August 20th, 1923. Whereas Snellville is today one of the fastest growing cities in Gwinnett County and has contributed greatly to the development of the county and the state of Georgia. Whereas from the 1900s until present, the Snellville community has produced some of Georgia's most notable citizens. Whereas families, faith, education, healthy recreation, and economic development are hallmarks of the city of Snellville. Whereas through good and bad times, Snellville has been a pillar of strength, ensuring that each generation has a sense of history, a strong sense of identity, and an appreciation for a vibrant community. Whereas the U.S. representative of the 4th District of Georgia has set aside this day to honor and recognize the citizens of the city of Snellville for the continuing contributions to our district. Now, therefore, I, Henry C. Hank Johnson, Jr., do hereby proclaim August 12, 2013, as the City of Snellville Day in the 4th Congressional District of Georgia, proclaim this 12th day of August, 2013. So we want to thank Representative Johnson for including himself in our celebrations tonight. I'm sorry he couldn't be here. So now it's time for the city's proclamation. I maybe need to hire Representative Johnson's writers so that I don't have to write this myself next time. But like every time I have a proclamation, I have to sit down and think of what I should write for the proclamation. Unlike most proclamations, though, for this one, I didn't know what to say. How do you sum up 90 years of a city's history in one page? There's the changes in population. Snellville, as Representative Johnson stated, was the fastest growing city in the county for decades. Snellville grew from a city with a 1 mile radius where you could name every family in the town to today, a city with over 10 square miles and over 18,000 residents. We've had 11 mayors and over 60 council members over the past 90 years. We went from having one school, the Snellville Consolidated School, and then Snellville High School, to having 3 clusters of schools, including Grayson, Brookwood, and South Gwinnett that service our community. We grew from the Snell and Sawyer stores to over 1,200 businesses. In 1950, Snellville built its first tennis court. And in 1960, we had our first Little League, where South Gwinnett Athletic Association still meets today. In the Broadway version of Willy Wonka, Snellville was the home of Violet. Our logos have been striving for the highest, a place to call home, and where everybody is proud to be somebody. But the one that has stuck throughout time, and the one that's known worldwide, is Snellville, where everybody is somebody. And that slogan sums up our 90 years of Snellville so well. Our city's history isn't about our growth. It's not about our prosperity. It's about our people. I'm not talking about the celebrities that we have that live in our city or that have lived in our city before. Sure, we claim people, whether they're in the city limits or just outside of the city limits, like sports greats Jason Elam, David Green, Rennie Curran, Lou Williams, and Mike Glenn. Musicians like Bobby Bird and Diana DeGarmo, and actors such as Amy Robach and Matt Lindahl. But these are not the people I'm talking about. Whenever I tell someone I'm the mayor of Snellville, they always have a story to share. They know someone that lives here or somebody that lived here. Everyone has a connection to Snellville. You all know what I'm talking about, because when you tell people you're from Snellville, they share their stories with you too. It's those stories about the people who have lived here, the people who live here now, and the people that will someday call Snellville home, that makes our 90 years worth celebrating. I couldn't capture the heart of Snellville and the heart of its people in one page. I did try, and I did actually write something, but I'm not going to read it for you tonight. Instead, I simply want to say that now I, Kelly D. Couts, Mayor of the City of Snellville, where everybody is somebody, do hereby proclaim August 20th, 2013 as the 90th birthday of our great city. I thank the Snellville Historical Society, who has over the years captured and preserved our history. I encourage our citizens to join me in celebrating our birthday by remembering our past and looking ahead to our future. I want to recognize the president of the Snellville Historical Society, Pap Ewing, who's here tonight to accept this proclamation. And one of the things about our city that we're going to start in conjunction with the Historical Society so that we can capture the stories of all the great people that have called Snellville home is a living documentary. We're going to have office hours where you can come and share your story, and we'll capture it on video. We're going to turn it into a mini-series. So you can contact our IT director, Erica Fleeman, if you'd like to set an appointment. We're going to do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so hopefully when we hit our 100th birthday, we'll have a real video to share to capture these great moments in time. So Mr. Ewing, I want to thank the Historical Society. They've had documents like this. This is our original charter from August 20th of 1923. It was handwritten. How amazing is that? And you've preserved things like this for us, so thank you very much. In the background, while we've been speaking, I failed to mention that Erica and Mr. Ewing put together a slideshow of pictures throughout the history of Snellville. And in the community room, there's a little bit longer slideshow, so I hope you enjoy these. But now for the cake, we have Mr. Wayne Odom, a former council member who is the longest-serving council member in the history of Snellville. And we have Miss Brookwood, Ariana Stringfellow, to lead us in a rendition of Happy Birthday. So Mr. Odom, if you could present the birthday cake to us, where we have a much larger one in the community room. How many engineers does it take to light a candle? There we go. I'd like to get everybody to stand and join us in singing Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, City of Snellville. Happy birthday to you.
Ariana is the winner of the Miss Brookwood Pageant 2013. She now is a freshman at the University of Georgia, so we appreciate her coming back and joining us tonight. Now we'll take a 10-minute recess, and if you'll join us in the community room, we'll have some cake and some refreshments. And before that, if I could get all the previous city clerks, city managers, city council members to come forward with the current council to take a group picture. All right, the time is 8:27, and I'll call this meeting back to order. Now on our, actually, do I have a motion to amend our agenda to add an emergency item under number 5, consent agenda? And
So
the
moved.
title of that would be Approval of Myriad Settlement. Is that your motion, Mayor Pro Tem Watts?
Yes, I'd ask that we add the settlement with Myriad to the agenda.
So there is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. Brings us to our minutes. Item number 2, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 18th, 2013 specially called meeting and the July 22nd, 2013 business and public hearing meeting?
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilman Sabag. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor, all those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes stand approved. Invited guest, is Ms. Daly here? Ms. Daly, you want to come forward and talk to us about get off the road and drive? Get off and drive, I'm sorry.
Apparently, that's what the mayor hears.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor Kelly Cox, Snellville City Council, and Snellville constituents. Thank you for your time. My name is Tricia Bailey, and I am the CEO and President of MT Innovations. MT Innovations stands for Morgan and Tricia. That's my daughter, me and my daughter. And Mayor Kelly, first of all, AAA has already estimated that 82% of traffic fatalities for this past summer will involve teens in texting and driving. Texting is 8 times more deadly than underage drinking. I'm going to say it again. Texting is 8 times more deadly than underage drinking. Just like society has termed us, the baby boomers, Generation Z has been termed children born 1995 to the present. This is the first generation born with instantaneous technology. Generation Z has been in front of the computer since the first day of daycare, but by the time they are in 2nd grade, they have already acquired a taste for texting. I'm here today because I am, as far as with my daughter, MT Innovations, we want to make a difference in your community. We started this company for 3 reasons. We want to bring awareness to our community and throughout the country in order to eliminate and lessen texting and driving or distracted driving. We want to provide programs and eliminate individuals' texting and driving habits, also providing videos, email, etc. We also want to get involved with other organizations to help push this project forward. I am a single mother. My daughter, her name is Morgan Matthews. She's a junior at Valdosta State University. And we decided to do this. This will be a project for both of us. We will be able to work on this project to stay connected while she's in school. I'm originally from Hendersonville, North Carolina, and Snellville reminds me of my home. So we are currently working with Gwinnett County School Systems. We're also working with Tom Livesey, which is our town. We're working with a company called, an organization called Victory Over Violence, which is out of Atlanta, Georgia, Crossroads News, and also we'll be partnering with Nally Toyota, which is at Stonecrest Mall. In closing, I just want to say thank you for your time, and I want all of us to come together in Snellville to get off and drive, to save lives, and to prevent texting and driving. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. Does anyone have any questions or?
Miss Daly, if I could, do you have information on the website or flyers or any of that kind of stuff here?
Yes, I do have some with me. I'll leave them on the back.
Okay.
Back. I do have a website also. It's www.getoffandrive.com.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Daly,
And it is Miss Bailey.
I'm sorry.
Boy, Bailey.
Typo on our agenda, I apologize. Councilman Sabag and I actually, it was very difficult, signed a pledge, a no texting pledge at a wellness fair here at the Senior Center that the local chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority is doing. And so I'd encourage you to maybe join resources with them and see, you can always, you're cutting at the same slice of the pie, so you might as well work together.
Okay.
I'm happy to forward you their information if you need, if you'll shoot me an email.
Okay.
Thank you for doing this, though. That now brings us to our committee and department reports. This, as stated in the work session, the Snellville Entrepreneur Council report will be postponed till our next meeting. And that brings us to the Snellville Arts Commission. Mr. Bice.
Good evening. Some of the projects that the Arts Commission is working on, all you guys have heard about it. But for everybody else, we're working on several projects for Snellville, including things like a public art project involving some sculpture. If you have been up to Sewanee in their area, and I just heard about Duluth also purchasing some sculpture, that's something that we would like to work on. We're going to be doing some fundraisers throughout the next year, hopefully, to get something like that done. We're also talking about doing a yearly painting purchase where the artists who are in our City Hall gallery, we would like to purchase one of the paintings that is there every year to display around the city at some point. We also have an interest in developing the room actually right across the hall back there into a performance space, so that one Friday every month perhaps you could come up and see a lecture on artwork. Another Friday you might see a performance, a musical performance or something like that. And that's something that we're interested in doing. We're going to have an arts festival that we are piggybacking onto the Beach Blast 2014. And let's see, what else? The two fundraisers that we have planned right now, the first one on September 20th with Nico's Wine Corner is called The Art of Wine. So if anybody is interested in that, I've got tickets tonight, in fact. If you are interested, I'd be happy to sell you a 1 or 40 for that. And also the other fundraiser that we are talking about doing is having the play A Christmas Carol at Summit Chase Country Club sometime in early December. And I know our city councilman and mayor are very excited about that because we've asked them if they would take a cameo role in A Christmas Carol. And my guess is a lot of us could see one or two of them saying humbug or something like that. So hopefully we will be able to work that out as well. The Arts Commission meeting is a week from tonight, August 19th, right over in the conference room from 5 o'clock to 7, and we would be happy to see anybody interested in supporting the arts there. So that's it.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Bice? I have a couple of things.
Yes.
First, let me put this bug in your ear. I'd love to see
Look at my eye.
bug in your ear.
Okay, that's better.
Too much
We already
sugar
talked about
tonight.
mosquitoes.
Too much sugar. Poetry readings, like a coffee shop once a
Yes.
month would be fabulous in the room across the hall. But no, in all seriousness, I'd like to thank you. You're the new chair of the Art Commission. Ms. Boykins here was just elected the new vice chair, and it's very exciting to see the commission with some legs and getting some projects up and running. So thank you all for all of your hard work. I'm excited.
Thank you.
That now brings us to the consent agenda.